All right, guys, Chad here, Adventure 101. Welcome back to the channel with the 88 4Runner build. This series or section of videos is all going to be about replacing all the rot in and around the window frame. To start, so I'm just going to take a hammer and a sharp punch, and I'm just going to start tapping everywhere and see where it feels soft or where it pops right through. I do not want to have to cut the whole thing from one side to the other out. There's a bunch of curve in this and different angles. I want to be able to build everything from scratch by hand with the tools I have. So I'm going to just find out what's good, everything else strip it back down to bare metal, and then just cut out the sections I have to. First off too, I'd like to thank, apparently I say all right guys a lot in all my videos, and I went back and I sure do, and I'd like to thank one of the viewers that sent me this hat. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see that people are watching my stuff and appreciate me doing it. So thanks for the hat. I will be wearing it in multiple videos to come, and maybe we'll put that on a t-shirt with some of my 4Runner pictures and stuff. But that's what we're gonna get into. We're gonna start tapping around, find out where it is, and then we can start cutting. I'll show you, I'll punch some holes through or tap wherever it is, and if any bad areas, I'll bring the camera in, I'll show you the areas of what I mean. So we're gonna start just by tapping. We're gonna work our way up the the pillar here, across the roof line, and see what we can find. Right away, getting holes. Easily going through. But it looks like majority of it is in the corner or on the flat. It's not on the actual edge, so hopefully I can cut just below the curve to try to save me that one extra bend, so I can just sort of, that roll will be tricky to match. There'll be a lot of filler work later on to cover it. So all right, so we're going to just make a cut from where I think it should be replaced right out. We're going to cut, like I said, just below, even though this rolls up a little bit into it too. We'll figure that out as we go along. I just want to kind of open it up, see what we're working with, and we'll have to do it in sections. I think I'll probably do this middle section, replace it. It's going to be the most tricky because of just getting to it. I'll have to just come through the dash and sit on it. And then we'll try to replace this section, work on to our next section, work our way all the way down each column, just so that it's easier to work here, obviously, than it is reaching out here. So here we go. Bring you in there and have a look at it. It ain't pretty. Again, I think this is probably the worst part of it, but you can see the inside structure's gone till at least there. I mean, this is probably usable, but it's a little thin. So I think we got to pull the headliner, as much as I didn't want to, but I think to patch this inner piece, to tie it all in, I'm gonna have to drop the headliner to be able to weld from up underneath the inside. So that's where that with that. I guess we're gonna figure out how to take the headliner out. All right, guys, so it looks like I've got to remove the headliner. I watched a video on YouTube of from 6 Gear Garage. If you guys don't follow him, you should. He's got a ton of information. He's more of restoring than modifying, but a ton of information and detail on how to break down Toyotas and stuff. So I've got to basically peel this liner back right here. It's all glued on. I'm sure there's one in the front here I got to somehow get to. I'm not sure there. And on this line here, obviously has to be peeled off. It's glued on, and it feels like it's like a, I'm going to say like a rubber cement glue kind of. It's still quite sticky. So you got to carefully pull this down, get it all down, and then these ribs all have metal, kind of a spring bar in them that you have to pop down and then slide it out. So we're gonna start at it and see how it goes. This will be my first time removing a headliner from any Toyota. I've just never done it before. I've had no reason to, so let's see how. All right, guys, so I'm just using a wood chisel. I imagine anything that has kind of a flat, sharp edge on it will work. And I'm just sort of working along the edge of it above the fabric and just pushing it down so that I can get my fingers in and kind of pull it and then break it away from the backside. And again, trying not to stretch it or anything. I'm hoping I don't wreck this liner and I can reuse it. If not, I'll have to make something, I guess, because I'm sure Toyota doesn't still sell these. I'd be surprised to. I've never seen it, but this is definitely going to be time consuming. What we got? It looks like there's some rodent poops up there. That's kind of shocking, seeing as I've not seen any rodent poop anywhere else, but that's sure, yeah, that's what that is. So, what else are we gonna find? Oh, I can smell it now too. I can smell the urine. That's lovely. Maybe this headliner's not for this world anyway. We'll see how it goes. Let's see what kind of mess we got up here. It's very strange because I've literally not seen any anywhere else in this entire vehicle, but that's a lot of poop right there. Yeah. Oh. It's funny, when I was watching the 6th Gear Garage on this, he literally had one filled with rodent poop, and he said this is common, but I've never seen this, but I've, again, never pulled my headliner out before, so maybe the other ones have had it too. Oh, yep, you got rodent poop. Oops. Alright, so that's the back section all stripped down. Do the passenger side, and then I gotta figure out the front. That's where we're at. Alright, after struggling with it for a bit, I got the back 2 bars out. This is just a mess. Oops, there's the front 2 bars. I still haven't been able to figure out how. Oh, I see now. So there's screws in the front, a little trim that you got to take those screws out. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 screws. And that whole piece then comes out. But the liner is just a mess. There's rodent poop in all of this. There was definitely a nest. Oh, it just fell off anyway. But lots of little rodent turds in here. So next is unscrew that and get that piece right out of there, and then we can see how bad our damage is. So we'll start unscrewing that. Oh, that is nasty. Let's see what we can see here. So, looks like pretty much the rod is just in this center section. There's a little bit here and there, but that seems to be the worst area. So we'll just have to build that piece up, hopefully. We'll cut it back to wherever it gets thicker, and we'll go from there. But yeah, a little nasty. Bit of cleanup now, so. All right, guys, so I think that's where we're gonna leave this episode off. I don't want these to drag out too long. It's probably gonna be a 3-part series, I would think, a minimum. But yeah, so it is what it is. The liner came off without tears or anything. I'll have to see about how I can clean that one up. But we'll just keep ticking around. So stay tuned for part 2 and 3 for sure.